anyone else like to get on our list, please come now.
W6MVM, William 6, Mike, Victor Mike.
Okay, Mike, we got you. Anyone else?
W6RBJ, 6 Romeo Bravo Juliet.
Okay, yeah, I got the RBJ. Really kind of light tonight, Ron, but maybe it'll pick up in a bit here. W6RBJ and D7M for the Collins group. I'll tell you what, do we have anyone else after Ron here? Please come now. Well, not hearing much, so tell you what, Mike, why don't you take a quick one there and tell us what's new in your world this afternoon.
Thanks. Grab the push to talk switch. Sometimes this box decides to fade out. Anyway, good to hear everybody's night. Thanks for Dennis for giving me a call. And yes, what's new is we're still moving. We're still moving the ham shack over from Soulsbyville, unloading boxes. We got about half of them unloaded, and rebuilding the ham shack back to what it used to be. Also, getting it ready for contest time. Contest time is coming up in October, starting with the California QSO party, October 5th. I hope people participate in that. I don't usually use Collins gear for the contest, usually the Flexes. I have 3 of them. We're going to have them set up here, some running remote. We're going to do multi this year for the California QSO party. We did pretty well in that class last year. Anyway, the call would be K6TUO for us here for the Tuolumne County Amateur Radio and Electronics Society here in Tuolumne County. Anyway, I'm president this year, but we got some pretty adamant contesters, so we're going to be pretty heavy on both SSB and CW. Anyway, thanks for running the net tonight, W6MVM.
Yeah, okay, real good, Mike. W6MVM and the Collins group and D7M. We're taking early check-ins here, and yeah, real good, Mike, on the move and everything. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be glad once you have that all behind you there and get things set up, getting settled in and so forth. And yeah, good news on the contest. I'm sure you'll keep us updated on all of that as time goes along. Tell you what, Ron, why don't you take a quick one here, and we'll see what's going on with you, W6RBJ and the Collins group and D7M.
ND7M and the Collins group, W6RBJ. Yeah, I can see that I think this mic isn't doing quite the job it should. I don't see that I'm kicking quite as much power out as usual, but tonight I'm playing with the KWM2, and it looks like it's about time to take it down and do a little bit of a cleaning of some of the switch contacts. So KWM2, 312V5, and the 30L1 into my high-gain high tower. So things are sounding pretty good. It's been cool and overcast up here today. We have the weird weather during the summer here. So I'll keep things going as I see we are approaching the time to start it. So back to you there, ND7M and the group, W6RBJ.
Yeah, okay, real good, Ron. W6RBJ, ND7M for the Collins Collectors Association Friday evening net. Taking early check-ins. If we have anyone else who'd like to get on our list, please come now.
Dennis, I'm sorry I was so weak. I don't have an amp on over here. We're just running barefoot. W6MVM.
Yeah, okay, real good, Mike. Yeah, I'm getting you about an S8 with the static crashes. Sometimes they're kind of on an equal par with you there. And yeah, Ron is a little bit light for me, but copying him if I didn't have the static would be no problems whatsoever. anyway, we're getting close to getting the net started here, and if we have anyone else who would like to get on our list for the Collins group this evening, please come now. Okay, Jeff, we got you. Anyone else? All right, Jeff, I'll tell you what, why don't you take a real quick one there, and then we'll probably get the net rolling here. TK6IRZ ND7M.
Back over to you. This is KK6IRZ.
Yeah, okay, real good, Jeff. Yeah, we got a fairly small list tonight. You're number 7 so far, so maybe things will pick up in a little bit here. Anyway, this is ND7M for the Collins Collectors Association Friday evening net, and if we have anyone else who'd like to get on our early check-in list, please come now. Well, not hearing anyone. I think what we'll do here is we'll get rolling here. We're maybe a couple of minutes early, but anyone else who comes along, we'll get them on the list here. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the West Coast edition of the Collins Collectors Association Collins Net. This is ND7M, November Delta 7 Mike. My name is Dennis. I'm located in Pahrump, Nevada, and I'll be your net control for this evening. We meet here every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time to exchange information on Collins radio-related topics. You don't have to be running Collins equipment to join us, as anyone with an interest in Collins radio is welcome to check in. The purpose of the CCA is to promote the conservation, restoration, and use of Collins radio equipment and to preserve the history and lore of Collins radio. We welcome questions and comments on the restoration and operation of Collins amateur, military, and commercial gear. In addition, we provide a technical and historical information archive for Collins radio equipment. The CCA is licensed by Rockwell Collins to use images, logos, manuals, and printed materials. For more information about the Collins Collectors Association, its forums, activities, services, and how to become a member, visit our website at www.collinsradio.org. That's collinsradio, one word, .org. And please help our efforts by joining the Collins Collectors Association. There's also a weekly Zoom session during the CCA net, and if you'd like to join in, send an email to Dennis, W6DQ@ARRL.net, and make sure that you identify yourself in the email. So before we get started, if there are any additional stations that would like to get on our list, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So what we'll do is we'll do our first group here. We've got Chuck, M6AF. And Chuck, send it to Dennis, W6DQ. And Dennis, hand the mic over to Lisa, TF6QNG. And Lisa, you're going to send it down to Mel, WA6JBD. And Mel, send it back to me, ND7M. So go ahead, Chuck, N6AF and the Collins group, ND7M.
Thanks, Dennis. And good evening, everybody. ND7M, N6AF. I'm on the usual 1963 KWM2. Output padded down a bit and deloaded, driving my SP220 on the low plate voltage setting, yielding 400 PEP out to an inverted V at 35 feet. 444 Delta microphone. my ears peaked up, or I should say my LNA on each side of my head peaked up when you started talking about reducing branching loss and other considerations for microwave links. And I was just going to throw something out there. When in my early days at Harris, I think I did this in 1980, right after I was hired. I designed a predistorter to be used with traveling wave tubes at 6, 11, and 12 gigahertz, Siemens or Thompson CSF. Those were the two big competitors. And I managed to get effectively a 3 dB increase in the third order intercept of those traveling wave tubes, which was a real dollar savings. I mean, dollar per dB. I think that whole predistorter cost about $150. It was implemented in the transmit IF at 70 megahertz, and it used two basically cascaded square law mixers to ultimately create deliberate third order. And I had not a broadband phase shifter, but a variable delay to adjust effectively the phase of that third order information relative to the primary signal that was passing through it. And then that would be up converted and cancel quite well the third order in the traveling wave tubes. I worked with an engineer too there on other projects named Mike Krivolovic out of Arenda, and he told me about the article in QST about his 10 gig distance record that he held sometime in the 70s, and that was from Fraser Peak up the valley to someplace up in the hills there, up above Redding, west of Redding, about 300 miles. And challenging because I think he was just using a passive mixer on the receive end and a gas-fed, some sort of a diet, or I don't remember now what he said, but it was very low power, and and the homemade dishes and all that. So, sometimes when the technology isn't developed yet, you're more of a hero to make something work. So onward to Dennis there, and see what's going on down in your neck of the woods. W6DQ, N6AF.
All right, Chuck, thank you. N6AF in the Collins Net, W6DQ, hearing it no current. No, I didn't check the current temperature. It was 102. So probably still up there. Yeah, well, it dropped to 101. Wow. It's cooling off. And 11 miles an hour with the wind coming in, too. Yeah, it's kind of that's kind of like not even a light breeze up here. Anyway, good evening all, and what are we doing here? We're on the KWM 380 and the Alpha 87 out to the horizontal loop, and SM 280 microphone, and hello, check. Yeah, okay, I'm talking enough. Okay, I just need to talk a little closer to the microphone, not pushing it up very hard. Anyway, signals are nice tonight. I was kind of surprised. I was expecting a full-blown lousy band. Reading the propagation reports a little while ago, so I guess it just hasn't gotten there yet. Anyway, well, Mel, fine business on getting the everything working up there on 10 gigs. Yeah, I need to get back online here and get it back on the air, but I got other projects in the way, so we'll get around to it. I won't do it now. The content's so close, why bother? I'll wait till get ready for the contest next year and get it on the air. Maybe for the 2 gig and up contest, whenever we do that May, we'll be able to do that. But I've been so frustrated working on that Central Electronics 100V. I pulled it off the bench a couple of days ago and put on another Central Electronics. I've got a 20A that's just beautiful. It's been restored, and it's really nice, but it's not working quite right. So I've got it on the bench right now, and I've been fiddling around with that. Should get that going. I got to figure out what I did with the CFO for it, so it's boxed up somewhere. 1A receiver, the Drake 1A, and Johnson Thunderbolt to go with it. So that'll be a nice setup when I get that working. So I've got 3 Thunderbolts, and one of those 3's got to be working. One's a parts rig, and the other 2 are well, I picked the other 2 up. One of them is another one of those shape, nice amplifier. And the 20A will work very nicely with the Thunderbolt. So that'll be a nice setup to get that going on Tuesday night. So hopefully before too long. What else? Had a couple other radios I've been working on here. I was actually talking to Wayne today, Wayne Spring. We had a chat and talking about the 8020. I'm going to be hauling that down to him when we go down at the end of the month. And I've got to get the manuals for the 8023. So I'm sorry, whatever that is that I got, the 8030. No. I can't keep track of it anymore. Dennis, you know what I'm talking about. Solid video. I can't think of it. I got to get the manuals for that so I can start making cables for it. Get the connectors on order and start putting together the cables for it. We'll get that thing on here. I'm actually looking forward to that. We're gonna put the amp back in the transmitter room where all the broadcast systems are, and I'm not quite sure yet where I'm gonna put the exciter and receiver. I may put them in here in this room with this rig. Well, it's just a good place to put it. We'll see how it all goes. We'll figure that one. Figure that one out. Anyway, I'm going to send her over to Lisa. What she has to say tonight. KF6QN, she is calling that number 6QQ.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Dennis, for running the net this evening. And well, trying to stay cool. Not much happening here. Just a very long week, very frustrating day. But anyway, weekend is here, so hopefully get a little time to recharge the battery and start all over again. So with that, I'm going to send it over to Mel, WA6JBD from KF6.
Okay, real good, Mel. W6JBD in the Collins Net, ND7M. Yeah, real good, Chuck. Yeah, well, thanks for the microwave info and all of that. Yeah, Dennis, the 8023 amp, I think, is the one you were getting at. That's the little solid-state one. That's the one I'm running here myself. And, yeah, the connectors and the pins and all the stuff you can get from Mauser. And if you need the part numbers for those, just shoot me an email, and I can give you all the numbers for the connectors and so forth. They're in stock at Mauser, and they're not real expensive or anything. The biggest thing with building those cables up is, I'm sure you found out, is all of the wires that you have to put in there. So get your soldering iron warmed up and an adult beverage, and plan on spending a little bit of time building those things up. And Mel, this line sounds good. Yeah, you're running about good 10 over 9 here. Yeah, bands seems to be getting a little bit better. We're approaching our local sunset here in about maybe 20 minutes or so. Anyway, this is ND7M for the Collins Collectors Association. Is there anyone else who would like to get on our list? Please come now.
Good evening, Dennis. W6YEC down here in Lemon Grove.
Okay, real good, George. Good signal tonight. Anyone else? Please come now. Okay, we'll take our next 4 here. And so Mike, W6MVM. And Mike, you're going to send it to Ron, W6RBJ. And Ron, you're going to send it to Jeff, KK6IRZ. And Jeff, send it down to George, W6YEC. And George, send it back to me, ND7M. So anyway, take it away, Mike, W6MVM and the Collins Group, ND7M.
ND7M, W6MVM. We're sorry we're not on our Collins equipment. As I say, we're moving back. I just got a minimal station set up, which is a Flex and an IC 4600 for FM, and so it's just about what we got. Yeah, but I still have the keys and everything set up on the Flex for running it. I got the amp in line, but the power supply isn't hooked in. Yeah, I'll get that hooked in, and we'll get the at least the KWM 380 up here soon, and we'll get the S-line desk. It's here, it's in place, but it's full of crap. As you know, when you're moving, you take the stuff out of boxes and it's scattered all over, and that's what's going on. Anyway, we're really, really looking forward to contest season, starting with the California QSO party and the CQ Worldwide DX contest and the sweepstakes. Those are the main ones we hit. We'll be hitting them hopefully as a group. Maybe not always. We take the Steph IR beam down and put a tri-bander up so we can run multiple stations. We run 100-watt stations, and we have 2 sets of field A filters, which allow us to run 80, 40, and 20 on one antenna, and then 20, 15, and 10 on another antenna. So we kind of mix and match, and we usually try to run about 3 transmitters, usually 2 on CW, 1 on SSB for things like QSO party. For the ones that are strictly CW or SSB, we kind of break it up a little bit. But those don't have an advantage of running multiple, so we'll put the Steph IR back up for those. Anyway, we've got a great location here at the ranch. That's why we're moving here. We shut down my Soulsbyville location. I'll change the addresses on our ARL and QRZ soon. So we'll have some pictures of the new ham shack and everything else. We're trying to build a really incredible ham shack in here with a lot of college equipment. I've got down in the shop, I've got 275A4s and 2 KBS1s. I want to bring those up here and get them running. And I got several S-lines, and I got an S-line table. I always had just an S-line table for S-lines. And we'll have that set up here again soon so we can run the S-line. Anyway, that's what we got here, and let me pass it on to Ron. W6RBJ, W6MVM.
Fine business there, Mike. W6MVM and the Collins Group. W6RBJ, Ron up in Fortuna. Yeah, the band is starting to sound a little bit better. People are coming in stronger and stronger. Most of you are sitting around a 5x9, but Chuck, you're 10 over, and Dennis, you're sitting about 5'6", 5'7", so that's probably why I'm kind of weak for you as well. Yeah, so it is. It's interesting to listen to weather reports up here. My wife and I took a walk today, a 3.5-mile walk, and I was wearing a long-sleeved shirt with a fleece jacket on for most of it because it stays cool up here. It was overcast all day, and I think it maxed out at about 63 degrees here. So we kind of forget what summer is all about, although every so often when it does warm up, we don't know how to deal with it. In terms of projects, I am still trying to find time to get everyone to quit bugging me so I can start recapping my good old 32S1. It's opened up here, ready to go. I just need to find the time. But I'm still hoping for the day when I can get my S1 line back on the air and see if it can get out and participate with everybody. So that's about the story here. And therefore, it sounds like it's time to send it over to Jeff, KK6, India, Romania, Zebra, and the group, W6RBJ.
W6RZ, did you hear the pass off?
No, I didn't hear RBJ. I heard little bits and pieces, but for the most part, I couldn't really hear what was being said, so I missed it being turned over to me. But other than that, I've been hearing everybody else fairly okay. So this is California, and good evening, everybody here on the one we got over here just running the Icon 735, but being that it is the Collins Net, I do have the RS388 running here also for listening purposes. But with that said, I'm just running underwater CDP. And the wife is home from work, so I'm just going to jump in and say hello, give a little support, and then jump right back out. But I'll be listening on the speaker. So we'll keep you going over to George W6YTC and the Collins Net here on the Yeah, okay, good. Yes, Jeff, W6 Yankee. Well, the Icon fortunately getting a signal down here to San Diego. One time here's Mike. He was in there a little better than what he could at the top. And RBJ, I couldn't copy at all. So that's with the band down. I don't know about who else is all in there. I think I heard who they heard earlier. I don't know. I don't have it written down. Dennis, you've got a nice signal in the San Diego area. So on the TWF2 Alpha tonight with the D104 microphone, and repaired it about 2 weeks ago. and so far it hasn't given me any more problems. And the power is holding right up there, so turned out to be a dirty little capacitor in the driver's seat. Got that all cleaned up and away we go. And we're setting a full weight from about 40 feet using a 30 watt for the amplification. But now it's just about 500 watts and a hair over. So I used the 30-01 with the TR4 here on Thursday night for the Drake net, and then Friday night for the Collins net, so it worked out quite nice. And listening also on the 75A4, I have it hooked up to the KWF2. So when I key the KWF2, the A40 computer, it's kind of fun to listen to it sometimes with the Collins speaker. And just giving you some exercise. I can see the A4 with my AM station, but I'm so happy with my Hammerland HQ110 Alpha. It's smaller and lighter, and so I just have left that alone. And the A4, I have it here on a roll round. That's kind of at a 90-degree angle for the desk here, and works out pretty good for monitoring. Anyway, not so much to share. It's pretty warm down here. We had a nice day today, and went and checked on the tortoise, and he was eating the water, so got him a bunch of water and alfalfa, and there's a store that takes care of him. I think they're out of town, so I got a bit of check on the tortoise, and came out of her place to the sun off, and went after my ankle. It showed me that the tortoise was very hungry. And it didn't take too much, so that's good. Anyway, and staying busy with the normal stuff I do down here. And been working on a car, getting it going. My wife's Mercury that got back in September. Went and picked up parts up there in your neck of the woods, Jeff. And got them on the Mercury, got them back in rebuilt, but having problems with some of the lighting, with the backup light, and the air conditioning bad in it, so we're going to have to put a little money in it, and then I'll probably sell it. Start somebody who needs a nice car, and just get what I've got in it, and it'll be a blessing to somebody. Anyway, hey, if anybody out there needs automatic antenna tuner, I have one that's just kicking around that's sitting on my shelf. It goes with a 410 with 430 or 440. That doesn't have a tuner, just with tracks with the radio. And anybody needs one, let me know. It's on the shelf on the garage here for time to get out and get into somebody's chat. All right, that's it down here. So back to you, Kevin. It's 7M, W6YUC.
Yeah, okay, real good, George. Well, anyone else like to get on the CCA check-in list? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Yeah, okay, real good, Mike. Yeah, well, like I say, I'm sure you'll keep us appraised of the contesting and so on. It sounds like you've got a interesting setup there with the multi-station arrangements and so forth. And yeah, Ron, yeah, like I say, a little bit light. I've got quite a bit of static crash stuff going on here due to electrical storms in the area. But yeah, I understand you're running a vertical antenna, and that might be an issue with the signal strength. You know, it's probably a little bit too low angle, you know, between us here. You need to get a dipole, you know, set up maybe at about 20 feet off the ground, and then you'd be hammering in here. Okay, yeah, Jeff, 73. Have a great evening. Thanks for checking in, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. And George, yeah, KMQ2A, boy, strong signal. You're sounding really good on that. And for anyone who's interested, George W6YEC has an automatic antenna tuner that goes in the TS440, 430 series radios. And if it's something you can't live without, get a hold of George W6YEC. So anyway, I'll take another standby here, see if anyone else like to check into the Collins Collectors Association Net. This is ND7M. I'm hearing somebody way down in the noise. I don't know, maybe that's the East Coast guys. Okay. Anyway, no copy on that. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll take my turn here. And anyway, this is Dennis, ND7M. I'm in Pahrump, Nevada, and we're on our usual Rockwell Collins HF8070A transceiver tonight, running about a kilowatt output into a full wave loop outside in the backyard there, up at about 30 feet or so. And yeah, like I was saying a little bit earlier, do have quite a bit of static crashes here, and it's probably a storm towards the east of Vegas there. They had some rain and so on going on over in that area. So anyway, I'll take one more standby, and then we're going to probably do, I know we could do one more round, or if we want to make it 73 round, that's up to everybody here. So anyone else like to check into the Collins Collectors Net, please come now. All right, nothing heard. Well, let's go back up to the top of the list here, and we'll do our normal four like we did originally with Chuck, N6AF, and then Chuck goes to Dennis, W6DQ, and Lisa gets it next, KF6QNG, and then Lisa sends it to Mel, WA6JBD, and then Mel back to me, ND7M. So go ahead, Chuck, N6AF, ND7M.
All right, very good. Thanks, Dennis. November 6 Alpha Fox. And I just had a couple of notes here. One was, I just wanted to mention I've got another radio setup that I'm going to try to bring to life. I mean, it's set up on bench number 2. These desks in my shack seem to propagate across the room better than some of the radios they support. So there's an HT37 paired with a Drake 2B. Now, does that sound like a super novice station from the early 70s? So I'm going to try to get that thing running. The last time I turned it on, no smoke came out. But tonight, it's, of course, the Collins. And just a comment, and I was telling my wife this at dinner, and she looked at me kind of cross-eyed. I said, Mary, do you know the sunspot count is 382? That's far beyond the peak that we saw in the early 70s, and she just kept on eating her dinner. She just ignores me. But 382, I got to tell you, I think that's the biggest number I've ever seen yet. On the report there, you know, in the solar conditions sub window on QRZ.com. 382. And they all seem to merge together, so I wonder how they have the resolution to dissect them. But that, coupled with a geomag noise level of K equals 1, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, the best propagation with the least D-layer absorption and the least band noise from geomagnetic. Of course, you've got your lightning crashes and so forth, but that can be at any time. So let me see, one last comment for the microwave guys. At Harris, also in the very early 80s, when AT&T long haul was transitioning to digital baseband, we competed with NEC to provide essentially a digital modem, a 16 QAM 45 megabit per second modem that they placed on their 4 gigahertz TD2 long haul system, which was inherently nonlinear, and they wanted us to be able to run through 6 repeaters with no baseband regeneration, if you see what I mean. So you've got all these transmitters in this channel, quote unquote, that are contributing third order, but they're at random phase angles with each other, so they don't add on a power 10 log or a voltage 20 log kind of basis. It was more like 15 log or something, very strange. So we had to put a post distorter at the tail end of the string of repeaters to try to suppress the accumulated third order. And so you get into trouble like that when you try to put up, at that time, a fancier modulation format on a pretty crude analog system. So I guess we will have another round, right, for 73, and I'll try to think of something more interesting on that one. So onward to W6DQ from N6AF.
All right, Chuck, very good. N6AF in the Collins Net, W6DQ. Yeah, very good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm reading propagation reports. I agree with you. That sunspot number is huge, but we also had a CME today. In fact, we should be seeing some of the effects of it very shortly, so we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I was just reading the propagation report that came out of Australia. So it's interesting what they're saying. We'll see what happens. Keeping my fingers crossed. But I did have the good fortune of working the guys on Jarvis Island yesterday or maybe before yesterday. That was pretty cool. Got them to launch now. Got it confirmed. So that's neat. I was trying to work them again today on 30CW, but I wasn't having much luck with it. The band was really noisy, and they were primarily working other Europeans, so I wasn't having much luck with that. Oh, I'll be there for a little while longer. Got a few more days, so we'll get them on another band, hopefully. Yeah, Dennis, the HF80, the big challenge right now is going to be getting that amplifier, the one that's going to Wayne, getting that amp and the power supply out of the rack and into my truck. We built a loading dock on the ham shack here. Unfortunately, I can't use it because our contractor's still got a piece of equipment in the way, so I can't get my truck up to the dock. So I don't know how the heck I'm going to move that darn thing. That has got to be one of the, well, it's not quite the heaviest piece of equipment I've got, but it's certainly close to it. I've got a 32WA transmitter, Collins transmitter. That thing weighs like 130 pounds. It's a desktop transmitter. That's where the term death crusher came from. It's from that transmitter. And it's a neat transmitter, but one of these days we'll get that back in the shack here, get that back on the air. I want to get that up on the AMI net. That'll be fun to run that on AMI. It's crystalled up for 3870 right now, and I got an it's a CR88 receiver to go with it, which is another unusual piece of equipment compared to the AR88. It's a little different than the AR88, which are very, very common. But this particular one was, this CR88 is in RCA broadcast colors. So it's probably a monitor receiver at a broadcast station at some point. And RCA, the RCA AM broadcast transmitter. So it's kind of cool to see the RCA colors on that rather than the normal colors that you see on an AR88. What else is going on here? I don't know. There's a few other things. Yeah, Mike, I feel your pain. We've got, how many rooms we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms in the ham shack, 1,500 square feet to fill up. And the biggest problem is getting desk space. We got the building done, but now I got to get something to put everything on. I've got all the equipment, just got to have a place to put it. So I'm starting to move all that stuff around and get things. I got to get some desks built and cabinets put together and what have you for storage. But we're using a couple of temporary folding tables for radios right now. But I do have my one of the S lines set up. It's got the S line and a KW12A set up with it on one desk with the 51S1 and the 62S1 on one desk, and there's a second receiver with that VNet. That's the one I'm normally on tonight. That's the one we use is the 75S3, 32S3A, and 30S1 on Tuesday nights. But I got to get the KW12A cable back up and get that going. And we can start using that again too. Get the switching set up so I can switch the amplifier between the two radios, sets of radios. But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice setup. I really like that radio. That S line. It's a nice one. We've got a couple of more S lines that are sitting on the shelf. One I'm trying to get ready to sell. Yeah, I have a friend who's interested in that, so we'll be working on that one. But anyway, that's about it for me for tonight. And Dennis, I'm going to say thank you very much for taking the net tonight. Conditions were really quite good. And we'll pass it over to Lisa, and we'll see everybody next week. So KF6QNG in the Collins net, W6DQ.
All right, thank you. And I want to wish everyone a good weekend, and hopefully we'll be back next week to have fun again and see what we can dig up. So with that, go back to now. WA6JBD from KF6QNG.
Thank you, KF6QNG.
real good, Mel. W6JBD and the Collins Collectors Association Net. This is ND7M. Yeah, okay, real good, Chuck. Yeah, the sunspots are way up, but, you know, with the R3 blackouts that we've been having, I think we had an R2 today, R3 the day before, you know, the old sunspots really aren't doing a whole lot for us, but, you know, I guess we got what we got, so we gotta, you know, work with it in that respect. Okay, well, 73's Dennis and Lisa, good to hear from you. And yeah, on the AMI net, yeah, I'm probably going to get rolling on that later in the year. I got up my Bauer and my Collins 20V transmitters I can put on there, and I've got them all gone through and ready to go. They're outside in my storage container. I ran 50 amp service out to the container, so, and I've got all the control lines and all of that ready to go, so they'll be working from that area because they're a little bit too big to put in the house here. I don't have the ability like you do, Dennis, to kind of have the glass wall there to look at all the tubes that are glowing at me. So anyway, yeah, hopefully later this year we'll get on the AMI net with that. And okay, we're good, Mel. Hey, well, thanks a lot. 73's to you also. And yeah, I always keep saying I'm going to get on the Swan net. I got an SS200 here, but I don't know. It just seems like Saturday night around 7:30 or so. You know, I'm involved in other things, and I just never seem to get to it. So anyway, we're going to take a short pause here and see if we got any last check-ins for the Collins Collectors Net. Please come now. Okay, not hearing anything. All right, Mike, you're going to be up on deck. I guess we're doing our 73 round here. So W6MVM, you're going to shoot it down to Ron, W6RBJ, and Ron, you're going to send it to George, since Jeff's already checked out here, W6YEC, and George, back to me. So anyway, W6MVM, Mike, for the Collins Collectors Association, Friday evening net here. Take it away. This is ND7M.
Oh yeah, ND7M and the Collins Collectors Net, W6MVM. Good to hear everybody tonight. Sorry, I'm running low power. Usually run an amplifier. Running on the Flex 6300 barefoot with a PR40 microphone and audio equalization in the Flex, running the external. Also, we're on a 200-foot G5 RV antenna up here at the ranch. Anyway, thanks everybody. This is good. We're going to get our contesting station set up here for October 5th, which is the California USO party. Hope a lot of people get on with it, and get on with it with Collins equipment. That's going to be really nice, especially on SSB. And I do use Collins equipment on CW, like the CWT contest, which is really fun. I either run my S3 line or the KW S175A4, which is great fun. It's slow, but you got to rotate that big funky dial to switch back and forth. Run a bug on it. Usually I usually run a standard deluxe with a swing arm, speed arm it's called. Anyway, I'm still one of those guys that contests with a bug. Even I just do better with it. I've been contesting with a bug since the 1950s. Anyway, I still remember the great sunspot cycle of the late 50s, early 60s, and I had the honor of being in Honolulu from 59 to 63 and having a beam up there and mostly running 100 watts or less. I mostly ran on a Johnson pacemaker and a lot of CW with some SSB on that, and I had also a DX100, but mostly I liked the CW of the Johnson pacemaker and an SX101, the helicopter receiver, an SX101. It was great fun, and I always compare all sunspot cycles to that, and there's no comparison. This one's good, but it's not there. Anyway, let me just say 73, everybody. It's been a great net, and I'll pass it on to KFC. Let's see. No, it's W6RBJ. Ron, W6MVM.
W6MVM, W6RBJ, and I decided just for the heck of it to try and experiment here. I went ahead and kicked up my S-line just to see if it gives me any better output. It looks like it is working a little bit better in terms of the power out of the linear, so I think my KWM2 is either not driving my linear hard enough, or maybe that other 3001 needs a little bit of tweaking. So we'll have to see. But it depends on if you folks feel that I'm any stronger than I was before. It's been a pleasure to listen to everybody and hear all what's going on. And I always get a kick out of the summer up here because whatever they predict the weather's going to be, it seems to be kind of the opposite. And then we got sunspot cycles, and don't forget, we've got a big meteor shower tonight and tomorrow night. So I think into Sunday night. So it should be fun. So with that, I will pass my 73s along too, and listen out to Dennis. But we'll send back over to George. Hope you're hearing me. We'll see how it goes. W6YEC and the group W6RBJ 73s.
W6YEC. It was passed to you. Do you hear him?
Yeah, George, you still there? Okay, well, I guess George checked out here for us. Okay, well, yeah, 73s to you, Mike, and Ron. Yeah, you're about a +5 over S9, but yeah, I do, like I was saying earlier, I do have some real heavy static crashes, so at times it makes it a little bit rough there. So anyway, I guess the last holdout here for the 73s is Chuck. So I'll tell you what, Chuck, why don't you say it's 73s and then send it back to me in D7M, N6AF and D7M.
Yeah, okay, very good. I was running around upstairs, but I've got my portable receiver, my iPhone tuned to KFS. So I heard everybody, and good night, everyone good night, even if you shut off your receiver. And yeah, it's a beautiful night out. I was going to walk with my wife, but I declined. She usually takes a walk after dinner, but I was in a pretty high-speed 40-mile bike ride, almost like a race, starting at 9 this morning, and I'm pretty toasted. I feel as old as or as tired as maybe the HT-37 here. All right. So thanks for running the show there, Dennis. And you know, you're the spitting image of another ham that I knew. I met actually at Harris, and he lives up in Roseburg now, Oregon. It's K7POJ. His name is Steve. I mean, mean, when I looked at your picture on QRZ.com, I thought for a second, wait a minute, I know that guy. But we also had a friend that moved from San Mateo to Pahrump. And the only other Pahrump story I have is my wife and I once driving, we made a long kind of a vacation loop out of a drive down to Los Angeles. We, instead of just coming home on Highway 5 or something, we went back through into Las Vegas stayed there for a couple of nights, and then decided to go through Pahrump and drive to Lone Pine through Death Valley. And I don't know what month it was. It might have been April. It was pretty warm out there, but we made it. And I remember in Pahrump, I went by Art Bell's QTH and saw that big horizontal loop that he had strung around his property. And I didn't stop there. I figured he probably gets bugged every a couple times a week or something. I didn't try to. I didn't see anybody in the front yard. I probably would have stopped if I saw him walking around out there. But anyway, that's about all I knew. We just went by Art Bell's house, and that's about it on Pahrump. Potosi, Mount Potosi, I guess that's a little bit out of, kind of in your area there. Horror stories regarding people who have to drive up there to work on radio equipment. I knew one guy, I think he carried a bunch of spares, and he went through two of them to get up to the site. You don't want to spin your wheels on any of those exposed kind of sharp shale knives, if you know what I mean. So 7-3, unless you got any final comments on what I said. ND7M, thanks for running the show. It was fun. N6AF.
Yeah, okay, real good, Chuck. N6AF and the Collins Group, ND7M. You know, I was up to Mount Potosi many times. In previous life, I worked for the electric utility here in southern Nevada called Nevada Power. And, we had a trunking radio site up there. And so, I've been up to Potosi many times, and even in the winter, flying up there in a helicopter. So, but I know what you're talking about when it comes to going up to Potosi there. Well, okay, real good. I guess we're pretty much at the end of the list here, and everybody's had their say for the evening. So I'd like to thank everybody for checking into the Collins Net this evening, and we'll say 73s to everyone out there. And for now, we'll turn the frequency back to normal operation. So anyway, thanks everybody, 73s, and we'll catch you next week. This is ND7M.
Hey, Dennis, I have one question on Nevada Power.
Well, I may have the answer.
Well, I did a job in the early 80s. No, I take it back. This is probably 15 or 20 years, say 20 years ago. Anyway, it was a project for, they were upgrading their radio links to, I'm not sure what we were putting in back then, Constellation, if that rings a bell, digital radios. So I had to go up just outside of Vegas. I had to go up to a radio site that was on an absolutely barren, rocky summit. And it was pretty frightening going up there because there was loose shale on a pretty narrow cut roadway. I can't imagine having the job of creating those access roads. I mean, they must have used dynamite. And it's just crazy. I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of different sites up there, of course, on the various mountaintops, but this one in particular, I don't remember exactly where it was, but it impressed me how, I think you could even see evidence of lightning strikes. Apparently the place just gets zapped constantly. Does that one ring a bell or light an LED or sound a bell alarm? Go ahead.
Well, we had a site talking about shale. That the one site that had the shale in the road really was Oatman, which was we're in Arizona. You'd go over across Bullhead City or Laughlin, and you'd head up to Oatman. That was the old highway, Route 66, which you would take over into into Arizona there. But Oatman was one of those sites that had a lot of shale. I know when I went up there, the last time I went up there, I had 2 spare tires in my truck, and I ended up blowing out both of the spare tires because of the shale. They just sliced everything up. So anyway, that would be for that. There's a lot of other sites around that are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But the one that had the worst shale on it was Oatman.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I've been to many hundreds of sites. At one point in my career, I was driving around with clients, and they would show me the site, and I'd give them recommendations on, where to place antennas, or it was a green site, or a very rocky site where to place a tower, and but there were a few that were quite spooky, and of course, when you run into other clients and or other people involved in projects in the field that live in the area, they'll say, oh yeah, well, we lost 2 guys last month. Oh, where? Oh, on this road. Things like that. They'll keep you alert. All right, well, I'll talk to you later. Watch out for those loose shale access roads. W60Q. I'm sorry. Wrong Dennis. Dennis number 1. ND7M. This is N6AF. November 6th. Absolutely finished.
Yeah, okay, real good, Chuck. Yeah, I got, I spent 10 years with Nevada Power, and we have, we had probably 30-plus sites that we had our EDEX trunking systems in, and so, we went all the way up into Utah, Arizona, basically from Tonopah south was our coverage area we had here, and then at the time there was a Sierra Nevada Power. They were in northern Nevada, and so the guys handled stuff up there. But yeah, we had a lot of sites. One in Utah in particular. It was about 12 miles of sand dunes that you had to drive through, and there was basically no road. It was sand dunes, and boy, that was if you were really into off-roading, that was a job to have. But when you got to do it, as a job, it's probably not as much fun anyway. It didn't have as much fun. Okay, real good, Chuck. Good hearing from you. We'll catch you later, and say 73s for now. ND7M.
Yeah, you're reminding me of Superstition Mountain. They're off Highway 8 in the southern end of the Imperial Valley. That's notorious. There is something superstitious about that. There's several long, very deep sand sections, and the guys that know it, they'll tell you, on this next rise as we drop down, get your speed up. I mean, it's just scary. All right, we'll talk more about this stuff later. ND7M. Great. great net, N6AF.
Yeah, okay, real good, Chuck. Yeah, and that particular spot I was telling you is called Pipe Spring, and yeah, we usually we always took 2 trucks up there because one invariably would get stuck, and so you know, we would have a tow strap with us, a pretty long one, maybe 100 feet long, and you know, the one truck that would get stuck going up a dune or up the road, the other guy would go on the other side, and the tow strap was long enough where he could get a run going downhill and pull the guy uphill. So anyway, yeah, tricks of the trade. All right, 73's Chuck, good talking to you. ND7M, 73's everybody.
All right, see ya.
Hi, ND7M, W670. I just wanted to say, Prompt and Art Bell is the reason we're running PR
Yeah, hi, Brian.
microphones and love loop antennas.
Yeah, you're talking about Art's loop that he had up, that big monstrosity thing?
Yeah, he pushed them heavily, and he also pushed PR40 microphones, and he was right about those. And quite a few of the guys I know have been designing loops because of Art Bell, and I will probably replace the G5RV here with a loop when I get a chance. So anyway, he had a big influence on us, and we still get on his net on 3636 at 10:30 almost every night. 3636 at 10:30.
Yeah, okay, real good. Yeah, loop antennas, I've always had really good luck with them, you know, on the lower frequencies here. You know, that's, like I said earlier, I'm running a full wave loop myself on this band. And, yeah, they work really well and so forth. Yeah, that loop he's got, I don't know what the resonant frequency, maybe was trying to talk to 500 kilohertz band or something down there. That thing's so damn big, it's like if you ran the mini neck program on it, it had just so many squirrely little fingers and things for radiation pattern coming out of it. It was really kind of a bizarre thing, but anyway, he had the space to do it, so you know, that was a good thing. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the full wave loop I've got, I really like it. I've used full wave loops for many years, and they're great for NVIS antennas for basically what we're doing here. Certainly not a DX antenna by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, they're good for what they're you know, made for. So okay, anyway, real good, Mike. Yeah, Brian, would you like to say anything? I heard you in there.
Yeah, well, I was just listening to the tail end of the Collins Net. Just wanted to say 783s there have a very strong signal here, so it's working well.
Yeah, okay, well, good, Brian. Yeah, well, sorry, yeah, we missed you a little bit earlier on. Always good to hear from you.
All right, all the best. I'm using the JLC transmitter and a Harris 590 RF 590 receiver here. And you're, I don't know, 20/9 or something like that. Very strong signal.
Yeah, okay, real good. Yeah, I'm on my HF 8070 Rockwell Collins setup here. It doesn't have an S meter, but it's got a dB meter, so you're at 60 dB. 60 dB over 1 microvolt. So that works out to be about 25 over S9, I guess, somewhere in there. Okay, well, real good. Tell you what, I guess everybody's bowed out, so we'll hopefully catch you next time, Brian.